Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. There are battles in life that no one else can see, struggles that happen quietly within your own mind, where doubt, fear, and overthinking try to take control. From the outside, everything may look normal, but inside you are fighting to stay strong, to stay focused, to not break under pressure. And the truth is, the greatest victory is not always against the world, but against what is happening within you. Because if your mind is weak, even small problems feel heavy, but when your mind is strong and your Arabic kaf, Arabic lam, Arabic ba is connected to Allah, even the biggest challenges begin to feel manageable. Becoming mentally unbreakable is not about never feeling pain, it is about not allowing that pain to control you. It is about trusting Allah so deeply that no matter what comes your way, you know you will rise again stronger, wiser and closer to Him. There are moments when your mind feels like a battlefield where thoughts come one after another without pause, some filled with fear, some with doubt, some with memories that weaken you and others with worries about a future you cannot control. You may be physically present in your daily life, speaking to people, completing tasks, moving forward on the outside, but internally there is a struggle that feels constant. And this is where many people lose their strength, not because their situation is impossible, but because their thoughts begin to overpower their ability to remain calm and grounded. True mental strength is not something that appears overnight. It is not about pretending that everything is fine or ignoring your emotions completely. It is about learning how to manage what goes on inside you. It is about recognizing that not every thought deserves your attention, not every fear deserves your belief, and not every worry deserves to control your mood. When your mind is left unchecked, it can easily lead you into a place of negativity, where small problems begin to feel overwhelming and where hope starts to fade. This is why controlling your thoughts is one of the most important skills you can develop. Because your thoughts shape your emotions and your emotions influence your actions. If your thoughts are constantly negative, filled with doubt and fear, it becomes very difficult to move forward with confidence. But when you begin to take control of your thoughts, when you start choosing what you focus on, something changes within you. You begin to feel more stable, more aware, more in control of yourself. And this is where trust in Allah becomes the foundation of true mental strength. Because no matter how much control you have over your thoughts, there will always be things in life that are beyond your control. Situations that you cannot change immediately, outcomes that you cannot predict, people whose actions you cannot influence. If your mind is dependent only on what you can control, it will always feel unsettled. But when your trust is placed in Allah, you gain a different kind of strength. Trusting Allah does not mean that your problems disappear instantly. It means that your perspective changes. It means that instead of thinking, what if everything goes wrong? You begin to think, whatever happens, Allah is in control. That shift may seem small, but it has a powerful impact on your mental state. Because it removes the constant pressure of needing to figure everything out on your own. When you truly trust Allah, you begin to understand that every situation has a purpose, even if you cannot see it immediately. You begin to accept that delays, difficulties and challenges are not random, but part of a larger plan that is being written with wisdom. And this understanding allows your mind to rest in a way that it could not before. You are no longer constantly fighting against reality. Instead, you are learning to move with it, with patience and trust. There will still be moments when negative thoughts try to return. Moments when fear creeps in, when doubt tries to shake you, when your mind starts to imagine worst-case scenarios. But mental strength is not about never experiencing those thoughts. It is about how you respond to them. Do you allow them to grow, or do you recognize them and gently bring your focus back to something more beneficial? One of the most powerful ways to do this is through remembrance of Allah. Because when your mind is filled with dihika, there is less space for unnecessary thoughts. When you remind yourself of Allah's power, His mercy, His control over every situation, it weakens the hold that fear and doubt have over you. It brings a sense of calmness that is not dependent on your circumstances. There is also strength in acceptance. Accepting that not everything will go according to your plan. Accepting that life will have ups and downs. Accepting that you will face challenges. But this acceptance is not passive. It is paired with effort. You still try, you still work, you still make decisions, but you do so with the understanding that the outcome is in Allah's hands. This mindset protects your mind from unnecessary stress. Because many times the stress we feel is not just from the situation itself, but from our resistance to it. From our constant thinking of how things should be instead of dealing with how they are. When you accept reality and trust Allah with what you cannot change, you free your mind from that constant tension. Mental strength also requires discipline. The discipline to step away from things that trigger negativity. The discipline to avoid overthinking. The discipline to not constantly revisit the same thoughts that bring you down. This is not easy, especially in a world where distractions are everywhere and where your attention is constantly being pulled in different directions. But every time you choose discipline over impulse, you are strengthening your mind. You also begin to notice that as your trust in Allah increases, your fear of outcomes decreases. Because you realize that no matter what happens, you will be able to handle it with Allah's help. That realization alone removes a huge burden from your mind. You are no longer afraid of every possible negative outcome because you know that you are not facing it alone. Over time, this combination of thought control and trust in Allah builds a resilience within you. A resilience that allows you to face challenges without breaking, to go through difficulties without losing yourself, to remain calm even when things around you are chaotic. And this is what it means to be mentally unbreakable. Not that you never feel pressure, but that you do not collapse under it. Your mind becomes a place of stability instead of chaos. A place where thoughts are guided, not uncontrolled. A place where trust in Allah acts as an anchor, keeping you grounded no matter what happens around you. And once you reach that point, you begin to experience life differently. Challenges are no longer seen as threats, but as opportunities to grow. Difficulties are no longer seen as the end, but as part of the journey. And all of this begins with a simple decision. The decision to not let your thoughts control you, but to take control of them. The decision to trust Allah, not only with your actions, but with your mindset. Because when your mind is aligned with trust, when your thoughts are guided by faith, there is a strength within you that cannot be easily shaken. There are battles in life that no one else can see. Struggles that take place deep within your own mind where doubt, fear, and negative thoughts try to take control. You may be surrounded by people going through your daily routine, smiling, speaking, appearing strong on the outside, but inside there is a constant Arabic Jim, Arabic Noon, Arabic Gaf. A struggle to stay calm, to stay focused, to not let your thoughts overwhelm you. And the truth is, winning in life does not always begin with what you do on the outside, it begins with what you conquer within yourself. Victory is not just about achievement, success, or reaching certain goals. True victory is when you learn how to deal with your inner struggles, when you stop allowing your thoughts to control you, and instead you begin to guide them with awareness and faith. Because if your inner world is in chaos, even the smallest challenges will feel heavy. But when you learn to manage what is happening within you, even the biggest battles begin to feel manageable. Your thoughts have a powerful effect on your life. They shape how you see situations, how you react to people, and how you respond to challenges. If your mind is filled with fear, you will hesitate even when opportunities come. If your mind is filled with doubt, you will question yourself even when you are capable. And if your mind is constantly focused on negativity, it will drain your energy, your motivation, and your peace. This is why mastering your inner struggles is one of the greatest forms of strength. But this mastery does not come from your own effort alone. It comes from combining self-awareness with reliance on Allah. Because there will always be things that are beyond your control. Situations that you cannot fix immediately, outcomes that you cannot predict, people whose actions you cannot change. If you try to carry all of this on your own, your mind will become exhausted. You will feel overwhelmed, constantly trying to find answers, constantly trying to control what is not meant to be controlled. This is where reliance on Allah becomes your greatest source of strength. When you truly rely on Him, you begin to let go of the pressure to control everything. You understand that your responsibility is to make effort, to try your best, but the results are in His hands. And this understanding brings a kind of relief that nothing else can provide. Because you are no longer carrying the weight of uncertainty alone. Relying on Allah does not mean you stop trying. It means you try with a different mindset. A mindset that says, I will do what I can and I will trust Allah with what I cannot. This balance between effort and trust is what creates stability within you. It allows you to move forward without being paralyzed by fear or doubt. There is also a deep sense of peace that comes from knowing that Allah is always in control. Even when things do not go according to your plan, even when life feels unpredictable, there is a comfort in knowing that there is a greater plan at work. A plan that is based on knowledge and wisdom that you may not fully understand right now, but one that is always for your benefit in the long run. As you begin to rely on Allah more, you will notice a change in how you handle your inner struggles. The same thoughts that once overwhelmed you will begin to lose their power. The fears that once controlled you will begin to fade. Not because your situation has completely changed, but because your perspective has. You are no longer looking at life through the lens of fear, but through the lens of trust. There will still be moments where your mind feels heavy, where negative thoughts try to return, where you feel uncertain or anxious. But instead of being consumed by them, you will learn how to step back and observe them. You will recognize that they are just thoughts, not reality. And you will have the strength to not let them define your actions or your emotions. One of the most powerful tools in this journey is remembrance of Allah. Because when your heart is connected to Him, your mind begins to find rest. Dhikr has a way of calming the storm within you. It shifts your focus from your problems to the one who has control over them. It reminds you that no matter how difficult your situation is, Allah's power is greater. There is also strength in understanding that you do not have to be perfect. You do not have to have complete control over your thoughts all the time. There will be moments of weakness, moments where you overthink, moments where you feel overwhelmed. But what matters is that you do not stay in that state. You return again and again to trust, to patience, to reliance on Allah. As you continue to work on your inner self, you begin to build a kind of resilience that cannot be easily shaken. A resilience that allows you to face challenges without losing your peace. A resilience that comes from knowing that your strength is not just from within you, but from your connection with Allah. This kind of strength changes everything. It changes how you respond to failure, how you deal with uncertainty, how you handle pressure. Instead of breaking down at every difficulty, you begin to stand firm. You begin to face challenges with a sense of calmness, with a belief that no matter what happens, you will be able to get through it with Allah's help. And that is what true victory looks like. It is not always loud or visible. It is often quiet, internal, a steady Arabic kaf, Arabic qua, Arabic tamarbuta that keeps you moving forward even when things are difficult. It is the ability to remain grounded when everything around you feels unstable. It is the ability to trust Allah even when you do not understand what is happening. When you reach this level of understanding, you begin to realize that life is not about avoiding struggles, but about learning how to navigate them. And with every challenge you face, with every inner battle you overcome, you become stronger, wiser, and more connected to Allah. Subscribe to the channel for more videos that strengthen your iman and help you build a strong, peaceful, and unbreakable mindset.